This page is the front cover of the magazine, which highlights key articles inside. It features a large image promoting 64 Grand Sumo Wrestling, with text indicating a special command list to master all the moves in the game. There are also previews for The Legend of Zelda, specifically mentioning Child Link's courageous appearance, and Pokemon Gold and Silver, featuring an interview with producer Ishihara. The cover also lists articles on games including Bomberman 64, Puyo Puyo Sun 64, Yoshi's Story, F-Zero 64, Famista 64, Snowboard Kids, Fighting Cup, GASP, and Top Gear Rally. An emergency special feature is advertised, alongside information about Diddy Kong Racing, which mentions intense battles on land, water, and air, emphasizing deep gameplay. There is also a section for 64DD Nintendo Space World 97 and SFC software rewriting system, indicating coverage of the 64DD and Super Famicom. The cover price is 590 yen, and it is for the December issue of 1997. This page is an advertisement for the Nintendo 64 game, 64 Grand Sumo Wrestling. It announces that the game is scheduled for release this autumn and features a prominent image of a stylized sumo wrestler. The text emphasizes gameplay elements of pushing, rubbing, and puffing up to raise your own wrestler. 4 screenshots at the bottom showcase the in-game graphics and sumo wrestling action. This ad directly corresponds with the cover page, which also highlighted this game. This magazine issue previews upcoming Nintendo 64 games, including The Legend of Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time, Diddy Kong Racing, and F-Zero X, along with information on the 64DD add-on. Strategy guides are featured for autumn releases like Bomberman and Puyo Puyo Sun 64. Updates are provided on new games like Famista 64 and Snowboard Kids. Additional sections cover various N64 titles such as Top Gear Rally, Hyper Olympic in Nagano 64, and Pro Mahjong Pole 64. The 64 news clip section includes news on Pokemon Gold and Silver, and articles on game-related topics. The magazine also lists game genres and their corresponding icons. This page is an advertisement for the Nintendo 64 game, Snowboard Kids. The page highlights the game as an action sports racing game for 1 to 4 players, scheduled for release in December 97. The ad encourages players to use all sorts of tricks to blow away rivals. It mentions that players can purchase items with money, execute basic tricks like rotations and grabs, and utilize 3 types of boards to their advantage to progress in the game. The screenshots showcase gameplay, with characters snowboarding and engaging in races. The bottom of the page includes game details, like its retail price of 6,800 yen, compatibility with the Rumble Pack and Controller Pack, and the ATLUS RACDYM copyright for 1997. This page is a preview for the Nintendo 64 game, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, featured in the Nintendo Next One section under the theme 3D Revolution. The page highlights it as a large-scale 3D mystery adventure game with a massive 256 megabytes of data and compatible with the Rumble Pack. The article mentions that in a previous issue, they had an interview with Miyamoto, revealing that Link grows from child to adult and can also revert from adult to child. It emphasizes this as a shocking fact and showcases the latest screenshots. The screenshots illustrate various gameplay scenes, including Link riding a horse. The text describes Link as a young man from the Kokiri tribe who lives in the depths of Hyrule's Lost Woods. He receives the fairy Navi from the forest guardian spirit and embarks on a journey to defeat Ganondorf, a demon thief. The preview lists elements like the Triforce, spiritual stones, and characters like Zelda, Ganondorf, Navi, and enemies such as Stalfos, Dodongo Jr., and Slimes. The release is scheduled for December, but the price is yet to be decided. The article also teases more details on horse riding mechanics and other interesting events, directing readers to check further pages for more information. The next page continues the preview of The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, focusing on Kid Link's brave figure, and highlights a scoop about the towering Death Mountain. It mentions Miyamoto's comments about adult Link using a boomerang, confirming the existence of a child Link, and suggesting their stories are intertwined. Death Mountain is described as a prominent landmark, the site of Ganondorf's final battle, and where Zelda was imprisoned, hinting it may be Ganondorf's lair. The page asks, what can only child Link do? It reveals one unique ability is using the boomerang. Child Link also uses smaller daggers and shields with different patterns compared to adult Link. The article touches upon the visible relationship between child and adult Link in Zelda. The game features both forms, implying time travel and a mysterious connection between the two stages of Link's life, emphasizing the intrigue surrounding the passage of time in the game. Screenshots show Child Link facing Death Mountain with Navi, swinging his sword, and interacting with objects. The inventory icons displayed include Navi, a sword, Z-targeting, Deku Nuts, and Deku Seeds. The next page delves deeper into The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, with a feature titled Horse Riding Scene, Thorough Examination, playfully asking, "This time, Link is a cowboy?" The page focuses on the horse riding aspect of the game, particularly the carrots displayed in the user interface. The text questions, "Carrots are HP, or?" wondering if they represent the horse's health. It notes that carrots are commonly associated with horses and might be related to the horse's stamina. Another section, titled Using Carrots and Turbo, humorously suggests that using carrots might activate a turbo boost for the horse, comparing it to power-up items in F-Zero. The text speculates that carrots could be a power item to give the horse more power. The screenshots show Link riding Epona on horseback, with the carrot icons clearly visible in the game's UI. This page explores The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, focusing on the significance of the horse, Epona. It speculates about item-carrying capabilities, and even Pegasus transformations. A scene with Link riding Epona shows carrot icons suggesting health or stamina. The page implies a thorough analysis of the horse's role is needed. Young Link's inability to ride a horse is likely related to the story or age, but adult Link will. The page also details Link's items: swords, short sword for child Link, hammers, bows, the Ocarina of Time, bombs, magic, fire and thunder, and the new whip. Other items, like the boomerang hook, are mentioned, along with a hint of even more undiscovered items. This page is dedicated to Diddy Kong Racing for the N64, hailing it as Nintendo's hidden gem racing game. The article addresses potential assumptions that it's just another Mario Kart clone, aiming to dispel this notion. It highlights the game's unique selling points, emphasizing the freedom to race across land, sea, and air with a variety of vehicles. The text suggests an expansive adventure and a level of freedom not typically seen in racing games of the time. Screenshots showcase Diddy Kong in different vehicles like a plane and a hovercraft, racing through diverse and vibrant environments. The game's release date is noted as November 21st, with a price of 6,800 yen. Diddy Kong Racing is presented as a groundbreaking racing experience, excelling in 5 key areas. Firstly, it offers exciting versus battle RCG racing with diverse vehicles, cars, hovercrafts, airplanes, and item-based battles, surpassing Mario Kart 64. Secondly, the game integrates an adventure element with island exploration, hidden items, and world progression reminiscent of Super Mario 64. Thirdly, the game emphasizes S-speed through thrilling courses and acceleration mechanics, comparable to F-Zero X. Fourthly, it incorporates water riding with engaging hovercraft races on realistic waves, similar to Wave Race 64. Finally, Diddy Kong Racing includes FLYing sections, featuring aerial combat and a unique sense of speed, like Star Fox 64. The game is championed as a hybrid masterpiece due to its unique blend of racing elements. This page highlights 2 zones in Diddy Kong Racing: the Zaris Zone and the Snow Zone. The Zaris Zone is the first area players will explore, featuring a prehistoric world with dinosaurs, lakes, volcanoes, and mountain courses. Dinosaurs roam the tracks, and the zone culminates in a boss battle against a Triceratops. The Snow Zone is described as a beautiful, white, snowy world with icy courses that are challenging to navigate. The page also introduces Targay, the Island Guardian, a magical elephant character who assists players. Targay can transform vehicles and is driven out from the mountains by Wizpig. Diddy and his friends are helping Targay chase Wizpig. Players can interact with Targay and race against him to earn gold balloons. The next page continues to showcase Diddy Kong Racing, this time highlighting Timber Island and specifically the Tropical Zone. To reach the Tropical Zone, players will need to collect 10 gold balloons, positioning it as a mid-game area. The Tropical Zone is described as a sunny, seaside paradise, with courses primarily set on the ocean. Hovercrafts are emphasized as the main vehicle type in this zone, Due to the water-based courses, the page points out that hovercraft controls are sensitive, requiring careful handling compared to planes or cars. Courses in the tropical zone not only feature ocean racing, but also extend inland and onto land areas. Screenshots depict gameplay in a tropical beach environment, showcasing hovercraft races, palm trees, lighthouses, and the collection of gold balloons. The villain Whizpig is mentioned again, cementing the game as Diddy Kong Racing. This page continues the feature on Diddy Kong Racing, focusing on the adventure mode, emphasizing its replayability and depth beyond simple races. It highlights two key challenges within adventure mode. First, winning races to collect gold balloons, which are essential for unlocking new courses and areas. The page mentions that upon winning a race for the first time, Taj the Genie appears and awards a balloon. Secondly, it introduces the Silver Coin Challenge, which becomes available after clearing all courses in a zone and defeating the boss. In this mode, players must collect all the silver coins scattered across each course before finishing in first place, requiring more skillful driving techniques like drifting. The page also introduces TT, the race supervisor, a clock character who offers time trials and provides information on the player's progress, including collected balloons and items. It notes that TT is a challenging boss to defeat and hints at the existence of amulets as rewards for overcoming challenges. The next page details more exciting modes in Diddy Kong Racing. After completing the boss battles twice, you unlock the Trophy Race, a series of 4 races where overall points determine the winner, with a gold trophy for the champion. Bonus game races become available after this, requiring you to find keys hidden in each zone's lobby to access doors that lead to special bonus challenges, including battle-type games. The page also explains that in each zone's lobby, there's a trophy room that you can enter if you have amulets. By placing 3rd, 2nd, or 1st in the trophy races, you can display bronze, silver, or gold trophies respectively in these rooms. Another mode highlighted is the Target Race, a one-on-one race against Target, where collecting balloons is key, and the courses and vehicles change. Winning these races rewards you with gold balloons. Finally, the page mentions other modes, like Time Trial, where you can challenge your best times on any course, and Battle Mode for up to 4 players, including a track mode for battles. Screenshots showcase different course themes, like Dino Domain, Fossil Canyon, and Everfrost Peak. This page showcases the diverse stage variations in Diddy Kong Racing, highlighting that the game's course variations are exceptional compared to other racing games. The page focuses on the Saurus Zone, detailing 6 distinct courses. First is Ancient Lake, described as a flat, beginner-friendly course utilizing dash plates, but with a dinosaur hazard to watch out for. Fossil Canyon features ponds and tunnels, making it a more complex course with shortcuts and varied routes, also featuring dinosaur obstacles. Jungle Falls emphasizes curves and machine control, noting that carts are limited, and airplanes are necessary to navigate certain areas, requiring players to utilize different vehicle types. Hot Top Volcano is set within a lava-erupting cave, restricting vehicle choice to hovercraft and airplane, described as a challenging course due to its narrow, winding cave and significant dinosaur threat, considered the most difficult in this zone. Everfrost Peak offers open skies, but includes corner combinations and caves, with elevation changes, with dash plates for airplanes in the sky. Finally, Whale Bay is a water race exclusively for hovercraft, set in a southern island setting, requiring skilled hovercraft control. This page is all about the 3 vehicle types in Diddy Kong Racing, diving into their unique characteristics. First up is the car, described as the most basic vehicle and good for beginners. It excels in dash performance, making for quick starts and competitive races, especially with good drifting. Techniques like cornering and using dash plates are emphasized as key to mastering the car. Next is the hovercraft, which dominates on water and land. Now, while it's the slowest of the 3 vehicles, its versatility is highlighted. It's noted to be a bit slippery and requires snowboard-like handling, needing players to anticipate movements. It's also mentioned to be effective for shortcuts. Finally, there's the plane, the king of the skies. Although it has a slower start, it boasts the highest top speed. The plane is all about acrobatic aerial combat, with missiles for exciting dogfights. Acrobatic maneuvers like barrel rolls are encouraged to perform in the plane. The page title emphasizes utilizing these 3 vehicle types, stating they are all unique, and mastering them is essential for adventure mode, time trials, and winning races. The page is introducing the core vehicle mechanics of Diddy Kong Racing. This page delves into the essential items in Diddy Kong Racing. Item balloons are found on the courses. each color corresponding to a different item type. Collecting consecutive balloons of the same color powers up the item to 3 stages. Red balloons contain missile items for offensive attacks, progressing from single missiles to homing missiles, and then a spread of 10 homing missiles. Yellow balloons give shield items, providing defense and increasing duration with power-ups. Green balloons drop hazard items like oil slicks, and then bubble traps to hinder opponents. Blue balloons contain magnet items to attract opponents towards you, with the range and pull strength increasing with power-ups. Light blue balloons provide dash boosts for instant speed increases, with each stage offering greater speed and duration. Bananas are scattered across the track and permanently increase your vehicle's top speed by collecting up to 10. But be aware that taking damage will cause you to lose bananas. Dash plates are strategically placed on courses to provide bursts of speed when driven over. Timed activation is key to maximize their effect. The page emphasizes that effectively utilizing these items is crucial to winning races in Diddy Kong Racing. This page showcases the racers of Diddy Kong Racing, introducing 8 playable characters. First up is Diddy Kong, described as a beginner-friendly all-rounder with stable performance, suitable for any situation. Next is Timber, also highlighted as a main character alongside Diddy, with similar performance, suggesting players choose based on preference. Pipsy is presented as excelling in acceleration and handling due to being a small mouse, but potentially disadvantaged in rough races due to being lightweight. Banjo, known for power, has speed as his strength, but weaker acceleration, making mistakes potentially costly. Conker is noted as having average performance like Diddy, but with slightly better acceleration due to being small, though possibly weak in chaotic races. Bumper is the opposite of Conker, with average performance but excelling in top speed in chaotic races, recommended for those who enjoy battling. Tip Top is described as having good acceleration and cornering performance, perfect for those who want to win by mastering corners. Lastly, Crunch is portrayed as unfazed by chaotic races with top speed, but having the lowest acceleration and handling, making him suitable for advanced players. This page introduces Yoshi's Story for the N64, an action game set to be released on December 12th for 6,800 yen. It highlights the game as a picture book adventure and recounts the story so far, explaining that in previous Yoshi games on the Super Famicom, Yoshi and Baby Mario's adventure began with rescuing Luigi from Baby Bowser. This new story reveals that Yoshi's Island has been turned into a picture book, stealing the joy and smiles of the Yoshis. However, 6 baby Yoshis, who were still in their eggs, remain unaffected, and are on a quest to restore their world by finding the super happy tree fruit. Due to Baby Bowser's magic, the baby Yoshis can only move one step at a time, setting up the challenge and mystery of their destiny. This page continues to introduce Yoshi's Story, highlighting the stage selection process, which is presented as a pop-up picture book. You navigate using a hand cursor to select numbered boxes, with each map containing 4 stages, the central one likely being a boss stage. Comparing it to the previous Yoshi game on Super Famicom, this one is structured differently. While the older game featured 6 maps with 9 stages each, totaling 54 stages, this new adventure in a picture book world seems to offer a different kind of experience. The game world itself is described as full of surprises, resembling a pop-up picture book made of paper, featuring diverse locations from seas and mountains to castles and clouds, populated with familiar characters from the Mario series, all brought to life in this colorful storybook style. Screenshots showcase various gameplay elements, such as Yoshi swimming smoothly underwater, facing a fluffy, cloud-like boss described as Giant Cotton Candy, encountering a counterattack from a large group of flying Shy Guys, and gameplay mechanics like timing jumps to use coils and snatching fruits from enemies. The page also poses questions about the meaning of 3 flying characters in the map screen and the reason for the Shy Guy invasion, adding to the game's mystery and charm. This page is all about F-Zero 64, which was released internationally as F-Zero X for the N64. The page introduces 6 machines and pilots that will feature in the game. It's highlighted as high-speed RCG and emphasizes being number 1 and 0. The page showcases screenshots of the game in action, showing different machines racing at high speeds, with speedometers reading up to 616 km per hour and 642 km per hour. Character profiles are featured, including Captain Falcon and his Blue Falcon machine, described as having a flowing blue body and well-balanced performance. Samurai Goro and his Fire Stingray machine are also introduced, noting his job as a space pirate boss, and the machine's shark-like shape designed for top speed. The text mentions that there will be about 6 machines available initially in the game, with the possibility of more unlockable, depending on certain conditions as players progress. It's stated that the magazine is introducing these 6 machines and their pilots in this issue. This page continues the introduction of pilots and machines in F-Zero X. We get to see the Red Gazelle, piloted by an unknown driver, described as a slim machine with a single-shot engine in its bright red body, with high top speed expected. Next is the White Cat, driven by an unnamed pilot, a machine with a refreshing coloring named White Cat, and judging by its wings, it seems to have high turning ability. The Gazelle is piloted by an indomitable cyborg, also called Gazelle, a cyborg pilot who survived a major accident in the F-Zero race 3 years ago. Jodie Summer is introduced as another new character, a female space fighter pilot with excellent piloting skills, highly evaluated in the Zero race world. Dr. Stewart drives the Golden Fox, and Pico pilots the Wild Goose. The page also highlights that familiar rivals are also participating in the game, suggesting players should be relieved. It hints at new information and usable machines, and that more characters might appear, teasing that the total number of racers is still unknown and to wait for further news. This page focuses on a strategy guide for Bomberman 64, specifically for collecting all 100 gold cards in the game and mastering World 5. This section is titled, Gold Card 100 Sheets Complete Collection Great Strategy. Its Operation Plan, Black City Strategy for World 5 Stage 1, called Shomen Topa, or Breakthrough. The guide gives hints for the road area and tunnel area of this stage. The strategy for the road area is titled, Ascend and Descend, Just Keep Going Forward, advising players to navigate the roads by climbing slopes and avoiding cars to progress. The tunnel area strategy explains that in tunnel areas, roads are perpendicular and not straight, so you need to climb slopes to reach the bridge and continue onwards. The guide highlights that there are 2 types of cars with different sizes, and that these cars are dangerous. It advises players to seek refuge in designated safe spots along the road when cars approach, and also to be careful of enemy attacks on bridges. The guide mentions that collecting all 100 gold cards allows progression to an extra world and encourages players to become Bakuban masters. This guide focuses on Bomberman 64's All-Tile Tower, Stage 3. The stage features switch-based puzzles that activate aerial pathways, but also trigger alarms and electromagnetic waves. Players must activate switches in the correct numbered order to avoid dead ends and use switches to reset the alarms. Elevators are crucial for navigating the tower, leading to gold cards and custom parts. One puzzle involves a specific switch sequence, 2, then 4, then 3 for a gold card, and finally 1. Collecting 100 gold cards unlocks a different ending in Black City. The page also provides a boss strategy for the evil machine, advising players to use bomb kicks from a safe distance to hit its emblem for a one-hit KO. This page is titled, Operation Formula, Get Gold Cards in Boss Battles. It focuses on strategies for obtaining gold cards in boss fights, emphasizing the need to collect all 5 cards in a single attempt during boss battles in Bomberman 64. Released internationally as Bomberman 64. The page provides specific methods for obtaining gold cards from 4 different bosses. For the Green Garden boss, Durago, the strategy is to burn it from the side. The gold card requirements are to blacken the right wing, left wing, tail, and horn, and clear the stage within the target time. The Blue Resort boss, Leviar's, strategy is to absolutely avoid useless attacks. To get the gold card, players need to blacken the tip of its tentacle, its tail fin, throw a bomb into its mouth, defeat the squid, and clear within the target time. For the Red Mountain boss, the strategy is to KO with charged bomb to the body. The gold card is earned by destroying the right arm, left arm, hat, throwing a bomb into the cockpit, and clearing within the target time. Finally, for the Spriggan boss, the strategy is also KO with charged bomb to the body. To obtain the gold card, players must defeat Spriggan by attacking the cockpit with charged bombs and clearing the stage within the target time. The page advises players to be mindful of the target time for each boss to successfully collect all gold cards. This guide provides strategies for obtaining gold cards in Bomberman 64 boss battles. To earn the White Valis gold card, destroy its legs and mask before time runs out, triggering a floor crack. For Ripper, target its legs from underneath, utilizing bomb bounces. Absolute requires distant attacks, using bomb kicks and gravity bombs, focusing on its arms and body tip. Telltale's fight intensifies after combination. Defeat it with specific bomb techniques after the fusion within the time limit. The general gold card conditions for 4 middle bosses involve damaging them with bombs, finishing them with bomb wind, and clearing within the time limit. Specifics for each boss include hitting Sirius within a time limit, hitting Canberra while jumping, touching Hadut's Stanfield, and stopping Regulus's dash with a bomb. This guide provides locations for hidden gold cards in Bomberman 64's Green Garden, Blue Resort, and Red Mountain stages. In Green Garden, cards are found in the Pyramid Ruins, Stage 1, behind a blue pillar, Stage 2, and on a floating block, Stage 3. Blue Resort cards are hidden behind a tower, Stage 1, in a flower pot on small islands, Stage 2, and behind a goddess statue and in a mound, Stage 3. Red Mountain requires breaking rocks for bridges and finding cards in a rock guarded by enemies, Stage 1, behind a powerbomb breakable wall, Stage 2, after solving a switch puzzle, Stage 3, and by breaking a lava pot where rocks roll down, Stage 3. Collecting 100 gold cards changes Sirius's personality. Strategic block usage is recommended to find them all. This page continues the guide, now focusing on more stages in Bomberman Hero. It provides strategies for White Palace stages 1, 2, and 3, and then Black City stages 1, 2, and 3, detailing how to find cards within each area. In White Palace Stage 1, the guide points out snowy areas with snow soldiers and avalanches where cards are hidden. Stage 2 describes navigating slopes and using reverse areas to find cards by destroying ice pillars. Stage 3 involves using reverse areas again, this time navigating narrow ledges and ice pillars to find hidden cards. Moving to Black City Stage 1, the guide outlines a straightforward path, recommending tunnel areas to collect cards efficiently. Stage 2 highlights using container boxes on outer peripheries of areas to find cards, advising players to get them before triggering alarms. Stage 3 focuses on pressing Switch 3 to access small rooms with cards, and warns about triggering alarms with red panels, which can trap players and require using a warp zone to restart. The ear column emphasizes that collecting all 30 map cards and defeating 30 enemies within the time limit will reward the player with even more cards. A total of 100 cards can be collected to unlock a special stage. Finally, the Hamidase Bonkies section discusses using a Kasumi no Mai, Dance of Mist, strategy in versus mode to make opponents' vision blurry and gain an advantage. This guide details how to collect hidden custom parts in Bomberman Hero, specifically focusing on Green Garden and Red Mountain stages. In Green Garden, Dragon Helm is found in a water channel, Dragon Glove requires a warp zone and block destruction, Dragon Mail needs an elevator and remote bombs, and Dragon Spike is in a hidden room accessed via a warp zone. Red Mountain / Crow is found by creating a rock bridge. Metal Goggle requires power bombs and bomb jumps. Neko shoes are in a room accessed by power bombs, and Silver is in a furnace beneath the goal. Besides map locations, there are custom parts across 5 worlds, totaling 20 plus 4 default, for 24 total. These can be equipped in custom bomber mode and rotated. The location of these parts remains the same, regardless of the game mode. This guide details custom parts locations in Bomberman Hero across Blue Resort, White Ice, and Black City stages. In Blue Resort, players can find Metal Knuckle, Neko Food, Bash, and Neko Suit in stages 1 and 3, using power bombs, strategic bombing of specific objects, and navigating Watergate mechanics. White Ice stages 1 and 3 offer Metal Armor, Kokeko, Wing Arm, and Metal Sneaker, requiring log destruction, lift switches, perspective manipulation, and careful navigation of icy slopes. Black City, in stages 1 and 3, provides Drill Arm, using camera angles, Ribbon Dress, via gold card access and switches, and Animal Slipper and Sunglasses, obtained through a sequence of switch activations and bomb jumps. The next page is focused on Bomberman Hero. It reveals that collecting 100 gold cards allows access to the final world, Rainbow Palace. This unlocks the true ending, where it's revealed Sirius is the enemy, having stolen energy and the Cosmic Cube. Bomberman must retrieve the cube and face Sirius in Rainbow Palace to save Bomberstar. The page also introduces a secret technique called Stun Climb, which is essential for navigating Rainbow Palace, World 6, and reaching high places without steps. This technique involves placing a bomb, throwing another bomb against a wall to make it bounce back and hit Bomberman, using the explosions to propel upwards. Mastering this technique is crucial for completing Rainbow Palace and discovering secrets within it. This page delves into the differences between the Waku Waku and Doki Doki modes in Bomberman Hero. The Doki Doki mode is presented as the tougher option, where items are harder to find and enemies are more resilient, demanding a shift in strategy. Even boss battles change, with bosses in Doki Doki mode being more aggressive and mobile compared to the stationary bosses in Waku Waku mode, requiring different tactics to defeat them and progress to serious. The page also reveals 4 hidden battle stages: Mizu no Sesaragi, Water Stream, Kaizokusen, Pirate Ship, Blizzard Battle, and Tsurutsuru Glass, Slippery Glass. Mizu no Sesaragi and Kaizokusen unlock after completing all 6 main worlds, while Blizzard Battle and Tsurutsuru Glass require collecting all 120 gold cards. Mizu no Sesaragi features flowing water affecting bombs and items. Kaizokusen is set on a pirate ship. Blizzard Battle is a snowy stage where visibility is low and wind restricts movement. Finally, Tsurutsuru Glass is a slippery ice stage where inertia makes control challenging. For those eager to jump straight into these hidden stages, using the Joy-Card 64 controller offers a shortcut. By rapidly pressing the Z button twice at the title screen, players can access these stages instantly. This page is a beginner's guide to Puyo Puyo Sun 64, a puzzle game not released outside of Japan. It breaks down the story mode into different character scenarios. First up is Draco's Holiday, where Draco enjoys a day at the beach, but encounters Skeleton T, Harpy, and Shupun as stage bosses. Then there's Arle's Adventure, the main story mode, where Arle is trying to revert the sun back to normal and faces Incubus, Suketo Dara, Kikimora, and Noho as stage bosses, and then from stage 6 to 10, Kodomo Dragon, Witch, Zudai Mao, Harpy, and Yusha Ragnus. Finally, Skezo's Counterattack is a harder mode, where you play as Skezo to defeat Arle and his boss. Opponents from stages 6 to 13 include Rulu, Skezo himself, and Satan. The guide explains that Satan has selfishly enlarged the sun to get tanned and popular with girls, and the 3 protagonists have their own adventures to counter this. This page is a detailed explanation of the Sun Puyo mechanic in Puyo Puyo Sun 64. It describes the mechanism of occurrence of Sun Puyos, explaining that they appear after a total erasure, where all Puyo on the field are cleared, or during mutual killing, Susai, when both players chain at the same time. The page then details how to use Sun Puyos, stating they function like garbage Puyos, but erasing Sun Puyos sends more garbage Puyos to the opponent. It emphasizes using them in chains to maximize garbage Puyo sending. There are sections titled Erase Many, showing that erasing many Sun Puyos at once is effective, and Get Caught in Chains, explaining how incorporating Sun Puyos into chains increases their impact. There's a section on timing to drop, clarifying that Sun Puyos drop in a fixed sequence from the left side of the field to the right. It also discusses drop timing, explaining when Sun Puyos and garbage Puyos will fall if they are queued at the same time, with Sun Puyos falling first. Finally, it introduces original rules to play with, showing 3 rule variations within the Everyone Puyo Puyo menu. Puyo Disappearance Count 2 is for players who struggle with chains, leading to accidental chain reactions and exciting matches. Puyo Disappearance Count 30 is for advanced players where only large chains win. Chain Restriction 10 is a mode where chains of 10 or more are required to send garbage Puyos, testing players' chaining abilities. This guide to Puyo Puyo Sun 64 focuses on chain combos, vital for offensive gameplay. It introduces beginner techniques like disappearing without erasing for setting up chains, and assembling for building them. Chains are explained as reactions that send garbage Puyo to the opponent. Different chain types are detailed: step type, staircase chains; key stack type, building a key section for a larger chain; and feeling erase type, intuitive chaining. The guide also covers Ojama Puyo, nuisance Puyo, sent by opponents. Variations include Point Ojama Puyo, which increase score, and Kata Puyo, hard Puyo, which are more difficult to clear, requiring multiple eliminations. Screenshots are used to visually explain these concepts. This page delves into advanced chain combo techniques for Puyo Puyo Sun 64, building upon the basics covered previously. It explains the staircase folding return method for creating massive chains by folding back a staircase pattern to start a new level. Moving into applied techniques, it introduces +1 and +2 concepts. +1 involves adding to an existing chain after it is finished, and +2 is about setting up even further chain extensions by placing Puyo in rows and columns. There's also a chain combo voice collection, which is a list of character names and their unique voice lines that play when you achieve a big chain. Some examples are Arl's Bibian, Draco's Chewheart, Skezo's Cut to Shreds, and Harpy's Audience Cheers. Finally, the page teaches small tricks to remember, which are helpful for advanced play. Rising Dragon Puyo shows how to raise Puyo upwards by rotating and shifting them to clear above obstructions. Quick Turn explains how to rapidly flip Puyo to quickly place them in tight spots. Falling and Disappearing describes quickly dropping Puyo to start chains faster. Rotating and Dropping is about using rotation while dropping Puyo to place them precisely and quickly. These tricks are presented to help players master advanced techniques in Puyo Puyo Sun 64. The next page is a complete victory manual for J-League 11 Beat 1997 on the N64, providing essential strategies to master the game. It highlights the importance of checking player condition before matches, using the Z trigger on the settings screen to reveal hidden stats. The guide advises players to adjust tactics frequently during games, utilizing the 4 available strategies and presetting formations to suit different situations. Moving on to basic techniques, the manual recommends avoiding jumping to intercept aerial balls, suggesting players should instead wait for the ball to fall to the ground to gain better control. Furthermore, it encourages players not to shy away from fouls during tackles, as the game is lenient with calling fouls, allowing for aggressive play. However, it warns about the potential for yellow cards if fouls become excessive. The page features screenshots of in-game action, formation setting menus, and a scene depicting a foul within the game. This page continues the victory manual for J-League 11 Beat 1997, now focusing on advanced techniques. It details how to use the dash button to dribble past opponents, causing them to become momentarily stiff and allowing you to break through. Another technique involves using a teammate as a screen to block defenders, creating space for your player with the ball. Finally, it explains the strategy of drawing out the goalkeeper before shooting, either by shooting into an open goal area or passing to a teammate for an easy shot. The page also presents player ability charts, ranking the top 5 players in various categories. For running ability, Okuno Masayuki from Urawa Reds tops the list. In dribbling, Ediso Edson from Kashiwa Reysol is number 1. For jump ability, Nagatani Masayuki, also from Kashima Antlers, is ranked first. When it comes to kicking ability, Kuramoto from Belmare Hiratsuka is at the top. Lastly, for tackle ability, Akita Yutaka from Kashima Antlers is ranked highest. These charts are presented to help players identify and utilize the best players in their team based on their specific skills. The next page is all about Famista 64, part of the long-running Famista baseball game series, known to be user-friendly and enjoyable. This version is specifically for the N64, aiming for a renewal debut with enhanced controls. The article is excited about its upcoming release in just 1 month, slated for November 28th at a price of 6,800 yen. The page highlights the various game modes available. Beyond the standard one-off match, pennant, and all-star modes common in baseball games, Famista 64 also includes Your Strongest Team and mini-games, totaling 8 modes in all. The pennant mode will feature events that affect player condition, and the Help Me Player mode allows for creating incredibly skilled custom players. The article also touches on data enjoyment and match content in Famista 64. It expands on the usual match result data like scores and winning/losing pitchers by including home run details and individual player statistics, showing how players performed in crucial moments. Screenshots show menus for selecting game modes and customizing player stats in Help Me Player mode. Another screenshot displays match results and individual player stats, showing various stats collected in the game. This page continues the deep dive into Famista 64, focusing on batting techniques and insights from the developers. The article details 4 distinct types of swings achievable with the 3D stick, highlighting how subtle controller movements translate to varied gameplay. These include the upper swing for home runs, the down swing for ground balls, a bent arm swing for inside pitches, and an extended arm swing to reach outside pitches. Each swing type is paired with an enthusiastic exclamation, referencing famous baseball figures like Hosey, Mr. Kawakami, Isao Harimoto, and Tomoaki Takahashi, to emphasize their style. Beyond standard swings, the page explains bunting, activated using the Z trigger, and also introduces high pose batting stances. By using the C buttons in the high pose, players can trigger various actions and poses, including a home run prediction stance, adding a layer of showmanship and strategic depth. In the Developer Speaks section, Tanaka Katsuki from Namco discusses the challenges of harnessing the N64's power for Famista, aiming to create a truly enjoyable experience. He highlights the 3D stick's analog control as a key merit, bringing greater freedom and realism to baseball gameplay. When asked about popular minigames among the development team, Tanaka mentions the Snowball Fight minigame, appreciated for its multiplayer fun. Lastly, he reveals the Sugoi Ball, Amazing Ball or Shining Ball, can be unleashed by pressing the C button before pitching. This special pitch is more powerful but drains more stamina, making it a strategic weapon for clutch moments. This section of the Famista 64 guide details base running and pitching controls. Base running utilizes the 3D stick for direction, with B advancing runners and A returning them. The R trigger advances all runners. Spin sliding is executed by pressing B near a base and rotating the stick. Pitching involves strategic positioning and controls. Pitch speed is adjusted with the 3D stick after pressing A. The stick also dictates pitch course and type upon release. Check pitch control allows throws to specific bases. Additional mechanics include the high pose, activated by the C buttons, and the shining ball, which boosts speed and sharpness at the cost of stamina. The guide concludes with a pennant race results section and a strongest team experience diary, offering gameplay tips, including scouting and minigames for player acquisition. This guide to Famista 64 focuses on defensive gameplay and a developer interview. Defense utilizes the 3D stick for catching, including standard and diving catches, along with new dash and lower back catch actions. Throwing mechanics are largely unchanged, while base touch allows infielders to tag runners. The Developer Speaks section reveals batting strategies, such as adapting swing types, and pitching tactics, like varying speed and movement. Fastballs are critical for defense, emphasizing timing for faster throws. The interview addresses questions about a true ending in Gunshi mode and the potential for Metal Star players, both of which are kept secret. The developer highlights the game's appeal, its focus on enjoyable head-to-head play, making it a great experience for friends. The guide concludes with examples of in-game stats and hints at post-launch content, including player recruitment and local team challenges. This page is a preview of the N64 game Snowboard Kids. It highlights the training mode, which is designed to teach players the basics of control. The game is described as a battle racing snowboard game where unique characters compete. The page details controller actions for the game, explaining the start button for pausing and starting, the 3D stick for character movement and edge control, braking, and A and C buttons for jumping with variable jump distance depending on button press duration, and also performing tricks with 3D stick combinations. The B button and Z trigger are for items and shooting respectively, emphasizing strategic item usage and attacks against rivals. The preview notes that mastering the training mode will be essential for winning races. The Snowboard Kids preview explains the game's trick and item systems. Players can perform rotation, grab, and high-tech tricks, combining them for higher scores. Each character has unique tricks. The item and shot system lets players use projectiles like parachute, bomb, and freeze shots, plus items like speed fans, tarai, and transparency to hinder rivals. An interview with Atlas's Mr. Tanaka reveals the snowboarding theme was chosen due to his personal interest and the winter release. Though the game prioritizes fun over pure simulation, real-world snowboarding experience informed development. Tanaka explains the game's racing game genre was selected to broaden the audience with accessible controls suitable for younger players and enjoyable multiplayer battle races. The next page showcases 3 of the 6 courses available in Snowboard Kids. It highlights Guru Guru Yama as a beginner-friendly short course, perfect for practicing basic skills like jumps and curves in time trials. Screenshots show simple course layouts and gameplay elements. Next is Deka Deka Daruma, a longer course that's a step up in difficulty. It features cliffs and obstacles, focusing on the thrill of downhill racing. The screenshots show trees, cliffs, a tunnel, and a giant snowman obstacle, which is a key feature of this course. Finally, Gakapuchi course is introduced, emphasizing the danger of cliffs and the need to use shots to avoid falling. It seems to be a course with tricky terrain. Screenshots illustrate players navigating cliff edges and even falling, along with a tunnel exit. This page previews the Sunset Valley course in Snowboard Kids, a challenging course packed with obstacles like penguins and giant snowballs. The scenery is beautiful, but the course is significantly harder than previous ones, requiring strategic play to overcome traps. Screenshots showcase the course's hazards, including cave entrances, falling rocks, and a river. Running into penguins causes stumbles, and colliding with small snowballs launched by giant ones turns players into uncontrollable snowballs. The page also includes an interview with developer Tanaka. He discusses the rewarding but challenging N64 development environment, revealing the game was a replacement for a technically stalled project. Tanaka encourages players to experience all aspects of Snowboard Kids, particularly the item shots and ending sequences. He expresses a desire to create more group-oriented games, inspired by the fun experienced during playtesting, and recommends the training mode for new players, advising them to avoid getting too competitive in battle mode. This page showcases the N64 fighting game GASP, Fighters NE Extreme, emphasizing its exciting character edit mode. It highlights the ability to create completely original fighters by customizing both their appearance and fighting techniques. The page details the edit flow, which involves first creating a character, then training them by battling opponents in fields to learn new skills. By repeatedly battling CM characters, players can develop a fighter with a unique set of moves and a personalized style, shaped entirely by their preferences. The page points out that the game's active object system and street-style sounds add to the unique fighting experience. This page continues the deep dive into GASP Fighters NE Extreme, focusing on the extensive character edit mode, which allows for detailed customization of fighters from their name to body type. The game offers 9 editable categories, including gender, hairstyle, face, body type, height, build, skin tone, clothing color, and name, leading to over 1,000 possible variations. Adjusting height and build parameters dynamically changes the character's appearance. The page showcases 4 example character archetypes players can create: the traditional martial artist, the trendy Kogel girl, the army soldier type, and the cheerleader type, each with distinct styles and characteristics. There are a total of 8 game modes, including a tag team battle mode and a record mode to rewatch past fights. The developer interview with Mr. Murata from KCE Osaka reveals that the title GASP stands for Generation of Arts, Speed, and Power, capturing the game's theme and atmosphere. The soundtrack leans towards techno music, a departure from Konami's usual fusion style, aiming for something unique. Interestingly, the game does not allow for editing of COM character AI, as the developers believe the core appeal lies in battling with your own custom-created fighter. Finally, the page confirms that you can indeed battle against friends using controller packs to exchange and use your customized characters, with the developers envisioning tournaments featuring these unique creations. The next page details the battlefields of GASP, Fighters NE Extreme, highlighting the stages as places of hot battles. It mentions a variety of stages, including dungeons, rings, and bamboo forests, all rendered in 3D polygons. These stages are designed to ensure players can focus on the fight without distractions. Objects are placed within the stages as obstacles. One section focuses on how stage objects influence battles, emphasizing the active object system. This system allows players to utilize stage elements like walls and cars to inflict damage by throwing opponents into them. The page specifically points out using tires and cones on stages. A Q&A section addresses whether weather affects battles. The answer clarifies that while weather like rain or snow doesn't directly impact fights, snowy stages might have a slight effect. Specifically, being thrown onto a snow-covered ground might reduce damage taken compared to normal surfaces. Another Q&A section asks if stages can expand during fights. The response indicates that while standard stages don't expand, stages with breakable walls and pillars exist, which effectively widen the ring-out area when destroyed. Finally, the page confirms that ring-outs are a fundamental part of the game. Destructible environments like walls and pillars further contribute to ring-outs by expanding the battle area as they are broken. This page continues its look at GASP, Fighters NE Extreme, focusing on how motion capture is used to create realistic and fluid combo attacks. It shows examples of combo sequences, like starting with a medium punch, turning, kicking, jumping, and then finishing with a follow-up attack. There is also a demonstration of a wall hammer throw move, showing how characters can be thrown against walls for damage. The page then shifts to the appealing character design, mentioning that each character in GASP has detailed personality settings and backstories. In a developer interview section, the creators discuss the inspiration behind the active object system, stemming from observing the effective use of walls in other fighting games. They expanded this concept to include stage objects like tires and cones. However, they clarify that objects are not intended to become weapons to ensure fair gameplay. The developers emphasize the active object system, along with the variety of character patterns, techniques, and visual effects, as key elements to enjoy in GASP. Finally, a Q&A section reveals that they are planning for around 8 playable characters in the game, including wrestler and female characters. They also mention the possibility of hidden bonus characters being included. This page dives into the battle scenes of the N64 RPG L-Tale, which is still a temporary title. It emphasizes the game's appeal through its exciting polygon character battles. They are showcasing a sample ROM to explore the gameplay flow, highlighting how smooth movement transitions directly into battles, creating a thrilling experience. The controls are described as feeling close to an action game, but the battles are fundamentally command-based RPG encounters. The player primarily focuses on evading enemy attacks and using magic commands. Magic spells automatically target enemies, simplifying aiming. MP regenerates automatically, removing the need to worry about conserving it, which is very user-friendly. You can also escape battles by creating distance from enemies. The page then details a few magic spells. Flame Circle creates a circular fire around enemies' feet, incinerating them. Cure Poison uses a water barrier to heal and recover health, with mysterious visual effects. Namu Rock summons a giant bell that smashes enemies, freezing them in place. The amount of experience gained after battle depends not only on the type of enemy defeated, but also on your actions during combat, adding depth to the system. The article concludes with an enthusiastic, "Ha Naru's January Jack," celebrating the game's vibrant energy and victory poses. L-Tale, working title, details early game progression, Melroad Spirit Shrine, Impenus, Dalam, and Stone Naya Castle. The story involves the Stone Naya King and Flora. Mysterious stones are hidden throughout the world, potentially critical to the plot. In a developer interview, Imaginia's Kenjiro Oshiba explains L-Tale's C-button magic system. C-buttons are used for magic and viewpoint changes in battles. Magic has 4 attributes: fire, attack; earth, defense; water, recovery; and wind. The protagonist's personality is linked to fire magic use. Battles are command-based, primarily focused on the protagonist, with support magic-enhancing allies. The page also features a Keltland News reader submission section, fan art in Keltland Art Studio, and a teaser for upcoming announcements. This page introduces the Japanese version of Top Gear Rally for the N64, highlighting its upcoming release on December 5th for 6,980 yen. The text emphasizes the changes in the Japanese version, questioning differences in car models, courses, and car performance. A key feature spotlighted is the Paint Shop mode, allowing players to create original car designs by customizing colors and body parts, essentially letting you build your own unique racing machine. The page also features Shinobu Yoshida, a 20-year-old image girl for Top Gear, posing in a swimsuit. She is described as a game enthusiast who won a contest and is excited about the game's release, and will promote the game's fun factor with her charm. The screenshots display in-game racing action across different environments and also showcase the Paint Shop menu, illustrating the car customization process. The page calls the game super cool software. This page continues the feature on the Japanese version of Top Gear Rally for the N64. It highlights the differences in the Japanese release, noting that it includes 2 new car models not in the US version, along with redesigned color schemes for all 8 cars. The speed display is also changed from miles to kilometers per hour to better suit Japanese players. The feature focuses heavily on the Paint Shop mode, emphasizing the ability to create completely original car designs. It explains that in this mode, you can freely change car colors and even draw original logos using lines and shapes. You can create your own unique car markings by drawing lines and connecting them, then filling in colors. The game allows you to draw circles as well, giving you further creative options for your designs. The page acts as a mini guide to using the Paint Shop, showing how to draw lines on the car body, create shapes by connecting lines, apply colors, and use circles in your designs. It explains that original designs created in the paint shop can be saved to a controller pack and then loaded when you race, letting you use your personalized car in the game. You can only save one design per controller pack. This page continues the introduction of the Japanese version of Top Gear Rally and dives deeper into the paint shop feature, emphasizing its creative possibilities for car customization. You can see how to freely change the colors of your car and even create original logos. It shows you can draw lines and connect them to make shapes and fill them with color, and even add circles to your designs for more complex markings. These custom designs can be saved to a controller pack, so you can use your personalized cars in races. The page also introduces 3 unique Japanese car models exclusive to this version of the game. The Celica GT4 type, described as a versatile car good for early stages, suitable for both off-road and on-road courses, especially strong on corners. The Nissan GT-R Type 4 WD is highlighted as a stylish pink-lined machine, boasting top-class speed and acceleration, but noted as a difficult car to handle in corners due to its speed. Finally, the Pajero Type Prototype 4WD is presented as modeling the '92 Paris-Dakar Rally winner, and is another Japan-exclusive car with a rounded form that is a distinctive feature. Top Gear Rally features a variety of vehicles, categorized by RWD and 4WD. RWD cars include the comical but surprisingly potent milk truck, the sleek and high-performing Toyota Supra, and the beginner-friendly Ford F-150 with strong off-road capabilities. The 4WD category showcases the beginner-friendly Lancia Delta and Ford Escort, along with the Porsche, a high-speed beast best suited for experienced players. The Subaru Impreza offers a balance of speed, acceleration, and handling. The game also highlights its paint shop, emphasizing car customization. This page introduces the N64 game Fighting Cup, a 3D fighting game from Imagineer. The game focuses on skill and strategy, moving beyond simply depleting health gauges. It emphasizes a competitive fighting style where victory isn't just about reducing opponent health to 0, but strategically earning points through various actions like throws and ringouts. The page highlights the game's point-based system, where the first player to reach 7 points wins. Downing an opponent is worth 3 points, throws are worth 2, and ringouts are worth 1. Special moves can earn 4 points. The page emphasizes strategic gameplay focused on point accumulation. 2 characters are featured: Ryuji Saeki, a Japanese martial artist, and Leon, a Spanish martial artist with a cool and collected demeanor and skilled foot techniques reminiscent of Taekwondo. Ryuji's special move is the Mach Punch, an uppercut performed while jumping. Leon's special moves are the heel hook shot, a high kick special move performed in the air, and the plasma heel break, a powerful special move delivered when the opponent is in a dizzy state. The next page delves deeper into the gameplay mechanics of Fighting Cup, highlighting throw defense and the throw escape gauge, which makes it easier for newcomers to counter throws by visually indicating the escape timing. It also introduces a new character, PL, a French fighter described as an unpredictable and acrobatic trickster. PL has moves like the reverse hook kick, using footwork to spin opponents, and the spinning crazy F, which uses a dodge and spin to attack the opponent's back. The page then explains the guard and Harari, or dodge system, essential for damage evasion. Guarding with the R button defends against mid and high attacks, while the Harari dodge, activated with the L trigger and direction buttons, is an automatic evasion move effective against sweeps and other attacks. Interestingly, throws are disabled while using Harari. Finally, the page showcases Meiling's special move, emphasizing her flashy and continuous attack style. Her profile describes her as an energetic Chinese fighter specializing in agile kicking combos and diverse techniques to outmaneuver opponents. Her fighting style includes stances like the crane stance and moves like the crane form, targeting the opponent's feet for continuous attacks, and the crane stance is mentioned as a fundamental aspect of her Chinese martial arts style. This page details the 4 game modes available in Fighting Cup. The first mode, VS Mode, is a single-player tournament where you battle against opponents from around the world, aiming to become the champion and face a powerful boss character at the end. VS Battle Mode is for 2 players to compete against each other, and it includes a Dojo Breaker option where players can wager techniques they've learned in the Master Challenge Mode. Within VS Battle Mode, Normal is a standard match without penalties, while Dojo Breaker sees the loser forfeiting a technique to the winner. The page also introduces Record Attack Mode, which has 3 sub-modes to test your limits. Survival challenges you to defeat as many opponents as possible in single-point matches, with a goal of 100. Fastest Mode is a time attack to clear 4 matches as quickly as possible, emphasizing the use of special moves. Rodeo Mode is about staying in the ring for as long as possible without winning or losing. A Rodeo Time ranking section shows the top scores in this mode, with characters like Ryuji and Valerie featured. Finally, the page spotlights 2 characters. Jason Tomahawk, an American pro wrestler known for his powerful throws and moves like the Dragon Sleeper and Brainbuster, and Bob Breyer, a Brazilian soldier who utilizes military-style martial arts and pro wrestling techniques, including the Hammer Knuckle and P Special. This page continues detailing the game modes in Fighting Cup, starting with the TRAN mode, which is a practice mode allowing players to hone their command inputs, combos, and guard-breaking techniques. There is also a Robot Opponent Technique Master mode for practicing against a robot, displaying command inputs on screen. The MAS Master mode allows players to fight against Master or Joker characters to earn new techniques, but losing to Joker will result in losing techniques. The Options section describes how players can customize game rules and settings, such as point count and ring size. The page introduces 3 more characters. Valerie Kaiserling from Germany is described as a wealthy heiress using martial arts, with a special move called Pretzel's Summer Throw. Abdul Jabbar from Mongolia is a mysterious fighter with tricky moves and a headbutt heaven attack. Lastly, Kaze, a ninja from Japan, utilizes ancient martial arts and ninjutsu, and his special move is the dance-plucking triangle jump. This page is a preview of Hyper Olympic in Nagano 64, which was released internationally as Nagano Winter Olympics 98. The article highlights 4 events, and this page focuses on 2 of them. First up is Snowboard Giant Slalom. The aim is to clear the gates and achieve the best time. The gameplay is described as similar to skiing's giant slalom. Players use the 3D stick to steer, leaning left and right, to control the snowboarder's movements. Pressing the A button allows for sharper turns, but it slows you down, so it's best used sparingly. The article mentions that if you miss a gate, you are disqualified, emphasizing the need for both technique and mental fortitude. Next is Ski Jumping Normal Hill, described as a contest of how far you can fly while also showcasing beautiful form. Aerial control and judging wind conditions are key. The gameplay involves holding down A button and tilting the 3D stick down to start. Timing is crucial when you take off. Tilting the stick upwards at the right moment determines jump success. In the air, players use the 3D stick to adjust posture. Up, down, forwards, backward, left, right sway. Landing well involves pressing A button upon ground contact. The article mentions that judging considers flight style based on points awarded by judges, each starting with 20 points. The Nagano Winter Olympics 98 video game features several events. Speed skating 1,500 meters requires rhythmic button presses for acceleration, emphasizing stamina management and pacing. Alpine skiing giant slalom utilizes the 3D stick for steering and the A button for sharp turns, with a focus on memorizing gate positions and course management. Ski jumping from the previous page allows for replay analysis to improve technique, focusing on air control and landing timing. The large hill ski jump event, introduced here, is more challenging due to higher speeds and longer distances, demanding precise takeoff and landing. This page showcases the N64 game Hiryu no Ken Twin, known internationally as Flying Dragon 2: Twin Dragons. It is described as an accessible 3D fighting game for everyone from beginners to experienced players, featuring both realistic and super deformed SD character styles. The page highlights 3 key techniques: simple button combos for beginners, allowing for flashy continuous attacks; reading enemy movements and exploiting openings by observing mind's eye marks during opponent attacks; and utilizing SD super defense and Saint techniques to counter enemy attacks and gain an advantage. Screenshots demonstrate in-game action and the SD character style. The bottom of the page promotes the game's roster of 16 fighters, showcasing a selection of character portraits including SD Ryuji, Real Ryuhi, SD Hayato, Real Gun, SD Shoryu, Real Hiryu, SD Yuka, and Real Min Min. Flying Dragon 2: Twin Dragons features 2 character modes, SD, and Real. In SD Characters mode, the Otakara system allows players to collect over 150 items, equipping them to enhance characters' stats and unlock special moves. Items level up through battles, and trading with friends via controller packs is crucial for completing the Otakara Zukan Treasure Encyclopedia. A shop system is also available. Real Characters mode introduces a ranking system across 20 ranks to assess player skill. The goal is to reach 10th rank with every character. Other game modes include VS, Tournament, Team Battle, and Training. The game features a roster of 16 playable characters in both SD and Real styles, including Wyler, Yuan, Robohana, Raymond, Powers, Kate, Suzaku, and R. Falcon, with hidden characters also available. This page is a preview of the N64 game Super Robot Spirits, based on a 50% complete ROM. The article mentions a regrettable announcement that the game's release has been delayed, but assures readers that this extra time will be used to further refine the game. The article details the game's system, focusing on 3 key aspects revealed in this preview. The robots featured are Voltes V and R1. Screenshots show the robot selection screen and in-game action featuring Voltes V and R1 in combat. The controller layout is explained. B for punch, A for kick, C for spirits, L/R triggers for ground and air movement, and the D-pad for movement and special move inputs, including guard and sidestep combinations. The spirits system acts as special move points and can be used for attack and defense. The pilot of R1, Ryusei Date, is introduced with a backstory mentioning his previous battles and the use of salvaged SRX parts in his R1 unit. Play impressions suggest Voltes V is a powerful, attack-focused robot with strong punches, best used in close combat employing special moves and throws. R1 is described as having many combo techniques and utilizing the GTL revolver, noted for being easy to control. Super Robot Spirit's aerial combat section advises ground-based responses to aerial opponents. The chain knuckle for Voltes V is recommended for anti-air, alongside jump attacks. Dunbine is versatile, but many robots specialize in air combat. The chain knuckle special move slams airborne foes down, essential for dealing with threats. Spark is a quick, spirit-consuming parry. Guarding alone is risky. Counterattacks are preferred. Spark counters create distance. R1 is praised for smooth movement and powerful combos, including an instant kill and strong anti-air, but spirit management is crucial. This page is an advertisement for current Ira Stick N64, a game based on the popular Uchan Nanchan's Fire Challenger TV show. This N64 title brings the frustratingly fun Ira Boo experience to your console, where you carefully guide a stick through an electrified maze without touching the sides. This version features vibration pack support for added tension and utilizes the N64's 3D stick for precise control. The game offers 3 different types of sticks to choose from, a 2-player versus mode, and recreates 5 courses from the TV show, along with some extra surprises. It highlights the delicate controls and the thrill of navigating the maze, emphasizing the game's challenging and exciting nature. There is also a ranking system to track your best times. This game appears to be a Japanly release. This page showcases 2 games. Firstly, it introduces Tamagotchi board game, Everyone's Tamagotchi World, a board game-style N64 title where you raise Tamagotchi characters. The goal is to nurture your Tamagotchi through minigames and board game progression to evolve them into mature Tamagotchi. Gameplay involves consuming care energy through minigames and competing with rivals on the board. The page details different board spaces like Mikachu Shop Space to buy food, and Casino Space to gamble for care energy, and Horror Space, which involves a door-picking minigame. This game is scheduled for release in December. Price is 6,800 yen by Bandai. Secondly, the page highlights Space Dynamites, a 3D polygon fighting game featuring alien characters with unique abilities. It emphasizes the diverse cast of 10 alien fighters, each with distinct weapons ranging from ancient swords to futuristic firearms, and motion-captured animation for smooth character movements. The game is described as having intense and tactical battles. It also points out special moves and projectile weapons are part of the combat. This game is also scheduled for release in December. Price is undetermined. By Vic Tokai, developed by ACT, and is a 64M cartridge. This page introduces 2 games. Firstly, there's Chameleon Twist, a unique action game for the N64 featuring a chameleon hero who uses his tongue as a weapon. The game is set across different themed worlds, 4 of which are detailed here. Jungle Land with caves and trolley car enemies, Antland featuring insect enemies and pitfalls, Bombland where you use exploding enemies to your advantage and solve block puzzles, and Desert Castle with needle bridges that you can manipulate with your tongue. It's mentioned there are 2 more worlds in development in addition to these 4. This game is set to release on December 12th, priced at 6,980 yen, developed by Japan System Supply, and will be a 96M cartridge and supports the Rumble Pack. The second game highlighted is Last Legion UX, provisional title, a 3D robot battle action game. This title features one-on-one robot battles in 3D arenas, with 8 types of robots and various weapons like bazookas and beam sabers for both close and long-range combat. The game includes 2-player split-screen battles, stage selection, and customizable weapons and armor to match your playstyle and opponent. Battlefields include diverse locations like maze gardens, ancient sky castles, and underwater shrines. Special moves, described as Power Stone, and visually appealing graphics are also mentioned. Last Legion UX is slated for a February 1998 release, price undetermined, developed by Hudson, and will support the Rumble Pack. This page showcases 2 distinct games for the N64. Firstly, Hexen is introduced as a fantasy 3D action game from the creators of Doom. In this title, players are tasked with rescuing the world from a malevolent magician. You can choose from 3 character classes at the start. The Warrior, known for speed and power, excelling in close combat but vulnerable to distance attacks, equipped with an axe as starting gear. The Cleric, a balanced character with average abilities effective in melee combat and starts with a mace. And the Mage, who compensates for low defense with potent magic and ranged attacks, starting with a staff, making long-range engagements their strength. Hexen is set for release on December 18th, priced at 7,800 yen, developed by GameBank, categorized as an action game, and will be on a 64M cartridge. The second game featured is Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, a pro wrestling title emphasizing realistic wrestler and martial artist styles. The game presents a wrestler selection screen showcasing different character types, including wrestler type and martial artist type, detailing their fighting stances and guard styles. The gameplay is described as focusing on a ki gauge, which builds up to unleash special moves described as kier, or flashy techniques. Tag team matches are highlighted with a focus on double-team maneuvers. The game also emphasizes wrestler performance and showmanship. Virtual Pro Wrestling 64 is scheduled for release in December and is being developed by Asmik and SPG on a 128M cartridge. This page features advertisements for 2 games. First up is Pro Mahjong Kiwami 64, a popular mahjong title making its way to the N64. It's touted as the definitive mahjong software, featuring real professional players and high-quality graphics. It offers 3 modes: Gamble mode, where you challenge pros, Pro mode for tournaments, and a training mode for analysis and quizzes. This is set to release on November 21st. The second game advertised is Harukanaru Augusta Masters 98, a golf game evolving on the N64. It really fied. It promises detailed and realistic courses based on real-world data and introduces new shot types. The game heavily uses real captured images for visuals and will support the Rumble Pack for enhanced feedback. It is scheduled for release in December. The magazine page announces the playable debut of Mother 3 at a November show. Major news focuses on a live broadcast of the voice actor auditions. Shigesato Itoi, the only staff member yet to play Mother 3, expresses excitement to do so. Voice actors were selected through a highly secure audition process, with more details promised in the next issue. A People section highlights Itoi's anticipation, accompanied by related artwork. The page also features a popular DCMC t-shirt, sparking a bidding war among the editorial staff. Screenshots showcase Mother 3 gameplay, character models, environments, and photos from the voice actor auditions. This page reports on the final audition meeting for M3 performers, revealing a large number of applicants exceeding 200. The selection committee includes key staff members: General Director Shigesato Itoi, Main CG Designer Akamaru Ito, Director Toru Sumita, and Monster Designer Toshinao Aoki. The team is reviewing applicant photos, discussing how to use them as inspiration for characters in Mother 3. They consider using the applicants' faces to create CG characters for the game, and even contemplate incorporating them into in-game posters that might move when the player isn't looking at them, adding a unique element. A screenshot from Mother 3 is shown alongside the question of how these adopted character faces will be integrated into the game. This page continues discussing the adopted characters for Mother 3, questioning if these characters will appear right from the beginning of the game. There's a section titled, How Far Can You Play M3? Where Shigesato Itoi and other development team members like Akamaru Ito, Atsushi Kadota, and Toshinao Aoki discuss the game's progress. They mention that, in November, there will be an exhibition and discuss how much of the game flow will be shown. They are also considering adding elements to the game where characters might tell you not to go further. The page reveals the final 3 selected people whose faces will be used in the game: Hiroki Mukotani, Hiroaki Sasaki, and Shohei Imamura. These 3 were chosen from the final audition, noted for their strong individual characters. The next issue promises to reveal game screens of Mother 3, showcasing 3D characters based on these adopted faces. It concludes with an exciting announcement for the next issue, telling readers to wait for the next issue for the big reveal. This page continues with news about Pocket Monsters Gold and Silver for the Game Boy, confirming these are the official titles for the games, highlighting that the ROM cartridges will have colored names again, just like previous titles. The article mentions this is ongoing information delivery about Pokemon Gold and Silver. The page spotlights great points of Pokemon Gold and Silver, first focusing on the clock function. This new feature means Pokemon ecology is now dynamic and influenced by time. The article states that Pokemon appearances will change depending on the time and location. For example, if you want to catch bug-type Pokemon, you'll need to go to the forest early in the morning. Understanding Pokemon ecology will be important for catching many Pokemon. Another highlighted point is the introduction of new trainer characters who are rivals to the player. These are trainers who will challenge you to Pokemon battles. The article mentions that, like in previous games, the types of Pokemon trainers used will vary. 3 newly revealed trainer characters are showcased on this page. It also hints at changes in how players earn money from trainer battles compared to previous titles. But details are still to come. Screenshots are shown illustrating these points, depicting in-game battles and encounters with trainers, all presented in the Game Boy style. There is also a section on the miniskirt trainer type, described as a fashionable Kogol-style character who uses Pokemon like Slowpoke. Pokemon Gold and Silver on the Game Boy promises engaging minigames, potentially stealing focus from the main game. These include a revamped Pokemon slot machine and a mysterious card game resembling a trading card battle. Integration with the N64 via the 64DD will allow 3D rendering of your Pokemon. The system is progressing, and the voice recognition aspect of "Hey You, Pikachu" is still under development. Pokemon Gold and Silver is slated for release by March 1998. Fans can get an early hands-on experience at Nintendo Space World 97 in November, where N64 Pokemon titles will also be showcased. 2 new trainer characters are introduced: Hufuki Yaru, a fire-type trainer, and Gajir Yaku, a strategically skilled young trainer. This page showcases 64 Uzumu for the N64, highlighting it as an enjoyable and popular game, especially with women. The page humorously explores the life of a sumo wrestler in the game's Success Mode, where players experience daily life and strive to become a Yokozuna champion. The comic strip format tells a story of a reporter interviewing a Dengeki Mountain sumo wrestler. The reporter humorously comments on the wrestler's age and appearance, while the wrestler expresses confidence in his abilities and aspirations to become a great Yokozuna, potentially rewriting sumo history. The page mentions key game features like the Success Mode, where players aim to become the best sumo wrestler. It also highlights that the game is user-friendly, allowing players to easily experience the world of sumo wrestling. The game was scheduled for release in November and priced at 7,980 yen. It is described as a bottom-up SPG 128M on the N64 platform. The next page delves deeper into 64 Uzumu, focusing on how to enjoy the Success Mode and build a powerful wrestler. It emphasizes choosing a wrestler that matches your style from 5 available types, each with different strengths like balance, power, speed, popularity, or super strength. The game features minigames to boost your wrestler's stats, mind, technique, and body. Examples include jumping training, Chenko hot pot eating contest, fishing, and nap time, played between events and sometimes as bonus stages. Daily life in Success Mode involves events after training that influence your wrestler's growth and allow you to earn stars needed to learn new techniques. Winning events is key to gaining stars. Interesting events include parental advice after losses, rival appearances where victories yield stars and special moves, and encounters with girlfriends that boost abilities. Townspeople also offer encouragement. The page lists some techniques and their star costs, such as the nekodamashi, backdrop, belly push, face slap, and leg sweep. This page is a report from the Tokyo Game Show 97 Autumn event. Arito and Hitomi are reporting on their experiences at the show, where they played various games. Featured games include Snowboard Kids, which is described as a snowboarding game where you battle using items and weapons. The girls comment on the large noses of the characters in Snowboard Kids, finding them cute and expressing interest in playing the skill-based short course. Bomberman is also highlighted, with mentions of the characters' cute movements, the 3D map design, and the strategic gameplay. They also played Mina de Tamagotchi, which is a board game. The girls mention receiving lots of Bandai goods and generally enjoying the show. They observe that there wasn't much N64 software on display compared to PlayStation and Saturn. However, they are excited about the upcoming Nintendo World 97 event, scheduled for November. There's also a humorous comment about mascot costumes likely being worn by sweaty middle-aged men, which is met with playful disapproval. They captured a photo opportunity with Pikachu at the event. Goemon's Fun Classroom humorously details the motion capture process behind Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. The article features Goemon, Ebisumaru, Sasuke, and a developer, E, discussing the technology, comparing it to Uran-T's brother? Motion capture, explained E, involved recording real human movements and translating them into game data. For Goemon, 4 team members captured motion data, completed last summer, using actors in black suits with tracking balls. The actors performed actions like running and jumping, and even motions needed for climbing. Photos of Konami team members Keita Shiohi, scenario and daytime nap person, and Etsumasa Hiruko, director and personality, are included, highlighting the fun atmosphere of the development team, described as overflowing with Oriental boy's voice. This page looks back at the history of the Famicom disk system, questioning its successes and failures. It highlights Nintendo's dominance and the disk system's initial concept of offering large storage capacity at a low price. Screenshots showcase games like The Legend of Zelda, Famicom Detective Club, and Golf Japan Course. The page features a 1986 release schedule for the system, mentioning launch titles such as Golf, Soccer, Super Mario Bros., and The Legend of Zelda. There's an interview with HAL Laboratory President Mr. Iwata discussing ROM capacity and the 64DD, stating that 64DD is sufficient due to memory expansion and writing capabilities. The page also briefly touches on the Block Set and the Family Computer Robot, ROB, noting their release date and price in 1985. Finally, it mentions Nintendo Museum Records, suggesting a historical overview of Nintendo's products. This page delves into the sounds of game development, showcasing Studio Parlor, where games are created. The article mentions the studio is located on the 9th floor of an office building, offering great views of Tokyo, including Tokyo Tower, and even Mount Fuji on clear days. The studio is described as a creative space where developers work late into the night. The article touches upon the unique office environment, including the women's restroom, which is rarely used by the all-male staff, becoming a sort of forbidden zone. It humorously recounts an anecdote about being accidentally locked in a women's restroom as a child. The studio's atmosphere is described as relaxed and musical, with acoustic sounds and guitar playing being common. Programmers and producers are also mentioned as contributing to the music, even singing silly songs related to game development, likening it to a band practice. The article mentions the use of real instruments alongside preset guitar sounds in games. The article concludes with the sentiment that making games is fun and expresses the hope that players will enjoy and smile while playing their creations. It ends with a playful message, asking readers to look forward to their work. The article also highlights the games Aqua Note no Kyujitsu and Taiyu no Shippo as games being worked on by the studio, along with mention of 64DD software development in collaboration with Ida-san and Ando-san. The article refers to GoldenEye as a game someone might use to get revenge if bullied. This page is an analysis of Taito's strategy for the N64. It starts by looking at the data of Taito's previous games, showing they've mainly focused on shooting games, and that their recent software was primarily for PlayStation and Saturn. It then delves into Taito's history, highlighting classics like Space Invaders and Darius, and mentions their sound team, Zuntita. There's a diagram visually linking Taito's games to genres, including RPGs like Estopolis Chronicle, shooting games like Radiant Silvergun, and other titles and characters. The page also features a request to Taito section, where they are asked about N64 development, and someone from Taito expresses interest in making a simple RPG for the system, like a new Estopolis game, emphasizing puzzle elements and a good pace, and mentioning 2D graphics are perfectly fine. Finally, there's a table listing expected N64 games from Taito, including Puzzle Bobble 64, a new Darius game called N Darius, Bakuorai Jinsei Gikiju 64, which seems to be a party board game, Arkanoid Returns, and Jitensha de Go, which is a bicycle simulation game needing a special controller. The Taito representative in an interview mentions their N64 development is starting with Lamborghini 64, and they plan to release titles for the system eventually. The page comprises 2 articles. The first analyzes Nintendo's N64 strategy, highlighting its substantial cash reserves and the minority elite approach of releasing fewer, higher-quality titles to maximize sales and royalties. This strategy, with an example royalty calculation, risks financial losses if the fewer titles underperform, despite Nintendo's financial strength. The second article is an interview with SETA programmer Sugahara Toru about movies and games. He explains that these are sequences of rapidly displayed still images optimized through compression to overcome CD-ROM limitations. He notes that movies are applicable on the N64, even with cartridges, and discusses the space constraints and how a game might incorporate them. He mentions his work on Aiku no St. Andrews and enjoys game and tool programming. A small cartoon at the bottom implies a futuristic or cinematic aesthetic for these in-game movies. This page is focused on unlocking all the fun modes in the N64 game GoldenEye 007. It presents a guide to achieving this by clearing each of the 8 stages under specific target times on normal and hard difficulties. The page details each stage from Stage 1 Dam to Stage 8 Snowy Plain, outlining the target clear times for both normal and hard difficulties, the difficulty rating, a short description of the stage challenge, points of clearing, which are tips for completing the stage, and advanced player advice, offering further strategies. For example, Stage 1 Dam on normal difficulty has a target time of 2 minutes 40 seconds, advising players to ignore the enemy and focus on speed. Clearing this stage unlocks paintball mode. Stage 2, Chemical Factory on hard difficulty, with a 2-minute 5-second target time, unlocks invincibility mode. The page also includes a table listing various fun modes, such as All Weapons mode, DK mode, Turbo mode, and several weapon unlock modes, suggesting these are the modes players can unlock. There is a section recommending Versus Battles, suggesting battles without radar for a more thrilling experience, and encouraging players to experiment with different modes for enhanced enjoyment, even mentioning using remote mines and playing as spies for added fun. The screenshots show in-game action from GoldenEye 007, highlighting different stages and gameplay elements. The GoldenEye 007 stage guide summarizes stages 9 to 20. Key strategies involve speed and efficiency, with difficulty-specific approaches. Underground Base, easy, prioritizes a swift exit. Bronze Statue Park, normal, demands a quick route. Vehicle Depot, hard, requires haste due to enemies and Natalia. City Street, easy, involves a tank and route memorization. Station, normal, focuses on minimizing damage and body armor. Train Carriage, hard, emphasizes escape. Jungle, easy, advises protecting Natalia. Yamasu Secret Base, normal, tasks players with defending Natalia. Pump Facility, hard, requires a calm escape with door breaking. Iskalius. Antenna Facility, easy, features a Trevelyan battle. Aztec Ruins, normal, is the most difficult, requiring precision. El Sahara Desert, hard, provides ample time to defeat enemies, using all available weapons. This page is dedicated to the 64DD Revolution at Nintendo Space World 97, featuring Shigeru Miyamoto. It's a big feature announcing exciting news about the 64DD, with the event taking place from November 21st to 23rd. The page highlights that Pikachu will be making an appearance on the 64DD, and it's a big announcement for the release date and price of the system. Screenshots show a variety of games and characters, including Yoshi, characters from Super Mario 64, characters from the Legend of Zelda series, Pikachu, and Pokémon like Hu and Mew, showcasing the diverse content coming to the 64DD. The actual 64DD hardware itself is also pictured. This page covers the 64DD showcased at Nintendo Space World 97. The 64DD features 64 megabytes discs, 32 MB writable, promising larger and more complex games. It includes a built-in clock, seen in Zelda. The page hopes for a price under 10,000 yen, especially with anticipated Pokemon software. The 64DD also boasts a 4 megabytes RAM expansion, supplementing the N64's base 4 megabytes. Manufactured by Alps Electric, it may include a modem. Nintendo's PR reveals the show is free for the public on days 2 and 3, with the first day being invitation only. Attendees with Game Boy Pokemon cartridges could receive a special Mew download. Pokemon Gold and Silver are playable, and a Pikachu stage event is planned. Pokemon software for the 64DD is implied. Regarding a US release, Nintendo of America is considering it, factoring in cultural differences and Pikachu's appeal. This page is all about the 64DD and how it will improve the Nintendo 64 gaming experience. Shigeru Miyamoto is featured, stating the 64DD is a creative tool, allowing for entirely new types of gameplay, where players can make their own rules and content. Nintendo's PR addresses questions, confirming that Shigeru Yamauchi will discuss future N64 strategies at the show. They also state Zelda on N64 will be available for Christmas and highlight upcoming killer titles for the end of the year, naming Diddy Kong Racing and Yoshi's Story as key releases. The page emphasizes 3 key improvements the 64DD brings to games. Firstly, memory is doubled, boosting graphics quality with more detailed textures and improved overall visuals. Secondly, it allows for data creation and addition, meaning games like F-Zero 64 could let players create and save their own custom courses, expanding gameplay possibilities. Finally, the large data storage capacity of the 64DD, around 32 megabytes, dwarfs the standard cartridge size and enables much larger and more expansive games, freeing developers from memory limitations and opening doors for bigger-scale games like SimCity. The screenshots illustrate these points, showing improved graphics and user-created content within game environments. Nintendo is poised to reveal the 64DD's price, release date, and launch titles, with around 3 initial games planned. The company assures players that both 64DD and standard cartridge games will be available. The 64DD boasts unique features. Disc-by-disc unique content uses disc IDs for gameplay variations. Data exchange creativity allows for data sharing between games, exemplified by the integration of SimCity 64 and SimCopter 64. Lastly, genetic algorithms and unique software potential enables dynamic gameplay through increased memory and processing power, allowing games to generate new data and react unpredictably to player actions. The 64DD, Nintendo's add-on for the Nintendo 64, aimed to enhance gameplay with features like data exchange and online capabilities. An interview with Ida Kazutoshi highlights the system's focus on quality software and a docking port. Nintendo planned to showcase Super Famicom, SFC, software, and Game Boy titles like Pokemon Gold and Silver. 3 key development areas included Game Boy connectivity, allowing for Pokemon data transfer, and 3D battles, similar to Pokemon Stadium. Exploring online gaming via telephone lines was another focus, with potential for games like F-Zero to include communication features. Finally, data input from Lawson convenience stores, akin to the SFC's Nintendo Power Service, was envisioned for participatory games and data distribution. The next page promotes Nintendo Space World 97, an event focused on the 64DD and Nintendo games. Visitors could play upcoming games like Zelda and Yoshi's Story and experience software for the 64DD such as Mother 3 and the Mario Artist series. Other playable titles included Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo-Kazooie, and Pikachu Genki Dechu. The event also showcased video presentations of games like F-Zero 064, Jungle Emperor, and SimCity 64. 2 Omoshiro packs were announced, a voice input interface, and an adapter connecting the N64 and Game Boy, along with the Super Game Boy 2 for communication. Nintendo President Yamauchi's speech was also a highlight, promising significant announcements related to the 64DD, including details on pricing, release dates, simultaneous launch software, and the relationship between 64DD and Game Boy. This page is an advertisement section from Dengeki G's Bunko, showcasing a variety of media. It advertises light novels and comics related to popular franchises. Titles featured include Tokimeki Memorial 2, a visual novel series, Battle Athlete's Victory, which is an anime and game franchise, Dual Sark, Vampire Hunter, Online Wolf, Techno DeVille War Chronicles, and Time Leap. These are presented as books and media related to broader entertainment franchises, and not specifically N64 games themselves, although some franchises may have game adaptations on other platforms. This page is an advertisement for the 5th Dengeki Game Awards, a contest seeking new creative talent in game novels, illustrations, and comics. Prizes are offered for Grand Prize, Gold Prize, and Silver Prize winners across the 3 categories. The bottom section showcases past award-winning works, including titles like Time Leap, X-Men 3 White Queen Zone, and Solid Fighter, which features a game cover image. The awards are advertised in Dengeki magazines, including Dengeki Nintendo 64, indicating it's relevant to the gaming audience of the publication. Upcoming Game Boy games include a variety of genres. Purikura Pocket 2 is a dating sim focusing on taking photos with a boyfriend, with communication and minigame elements. Consume Monster is a monster-raising game, where you nurture creatures inside cans and battle friends. Nichirebe Rutomo Club is a dating sim where you make friends and send messages via a pager. Trump Collection GB offers 5 card games with 2-player battles. Tarmal Town Big Incident is an action game featuring Lottie characters using candy-based attacks. Finally, Kyoro-chan World is an adventure game starring Kyoro-chan from Morinaga Chocolate Balls, with communication, minigames, and a focus on helping others. This page is a hot game preview section, showcasing upcoming N64 titles. First up is Bomberman 64, already on sale. It's a 3D action game that brings the popular series to the N64. Reviewers praised its 3D environments, new action elements, map exploration, and versus mode, finding it quite enjoyable. Next is Puyo Puyo Sun 64, scheduled for release on October 30th. This puzzle game brings the classic Puyo Puyo action to the N64, with new Sun Puyo elements and enhanced gameplay feel. Reviewers noted that while 3D wasn't necessary, the controls and new additions were solid, though the ROM capacity might be a limitation. Lastly, we have HEIWA Pachinko World 64, planned for November. This is a pachinko simulation game aiming for realism on the N64. It lets you examine pachinko machines from various angles and even walk around virtual pachinko parlors. Reviewers commented on the realistic polygon graphics of the parlors and machines and the overall presentation, though some felt it could use a bit more in terms of gameplay depth. In an interview with Mr. Fujimoto, known for his N64 hardware expertise, Mr. Nakamoto discusses the potential of the N64. They explore new ways to play beyond enhanced graphics, emphasizing the importance of development tools and versatile programming. Nakamoto sees the technical environment ready for innovative gameplay. The conversation draws parallels to the Game Boy, its portability, and its success in the current era, especially with games like Tamagotchi and LCD games. Nakamoto, a tech enthusiast, prefers outdoor activities and cites Pocket Monsters, Pokemon, as a prime example of how portable consoles' communication features create novel gameplay experiences. He believes that the Game Boy facilitates new ways to play, unattainable on home consoles, particularly highlighting communication and portable play. The next page is part 2 of an interview between Nakamoto and Fujimoto. They discuss the transition from PC Engine CD-ROM to Game Boy game development. Nakamoto mentions how, after working with the large storage capacity of CD-ROM on the PC Engine, he was interested in creating games for smaller formats like the Game Boy cartridge, influenced by a colleague who suggested making something like that. Fujimoto notes Nakamoto's background as a knowledgeable PC Engine technician. They touch on memory capacity, with Nakamoto reflecting on how 540 megabytes was considered large then, while now 8 megabits is common. The page features an image showing 2 Game Boy handhelds and a Game Boy game cartridge, Super B-Daemon Fighting Phoenix, released in July. The caption explains that this game has infrared communication, allowing data exchange between Game Boy consoles. Hudson is shifting its game development strategy, empowering creators to develop original ideas rather than following predefined directives. They've implemented a prototype system where teams create game concepts, and G7, the company, evaluates them for further development or sale. This initiative, launched last autumn, aims to foster creativity and produce surprising games. Fujimoto emphasizes the company's desire to embrace challenges and boost employee morale. Nakamoto invokes the fox and boar analogy to highlight the need for competition and rewarding good work within the company, a sentiment Fujimoto supports. Diagrams illustrate the evolution of communication-based games, contrasting existing network setups with predictions for N64 connectivity involving host computers, phone lines, and console-to-console communication. This page, titled GB Communication Style New Way to Play, features an interview with Fujimoto discussing the exciting possibilities of Game Boy communication and how it might develop in the future, perhaps even in conjunction with the N64 console. The conversation touches upon the idea of screen-split-type games, similar to titles like Diablo and Quake, but applied to Game Boy and potentially linked with the N64. Fujimoto highlights Hudson's PLGS clock and calendar chip technology, and its potential to enhance Game Boy communication. They explore the concept of connecting a Game Boy to an N64 to enable gameplay across multiple screens, envisioning scenarios like playing Mahjong across several displays, with the main TV screen as the game board and individual Game Boy screens representing each player's hand. The interview also briefly mentions Pocket Monster, Pokemon, and Bokuju Monogatari GB, Harvest Moon GB, as examples of games already utilizing communication features, and suggests that future gaming experiences will lean towards exploring new and innovative ways to play, focusing on connectivity and multi-screen capabilities. This page highlights the launch of the Nintendo Power SFC rewriting service, which started in December. This service, available at Lawson convenience stores nationwide, allows players to rewrite SFC cartridges using MMS terminals. The MMS terminal is described as user-friendly, featuring a touch panel for easy operation. To use the service, you bring your SF memory cassette to a Lawson store, insert it into the MMS terminal, and select the game you want to write. SF memory cassettes are available for purchase at Lawson. The initial software lineup included titles like Heisei Shin Oni Island Before After Chapter, likely part of the Famicom Detective Club series, Racing Crew 97, and Daibista for NP provisional title. The service planned to expand its library to around 100 titles by December, with Daibista joining the service in February of the following year. The service was initially launched in around 100 Lawson stores in October and expanded to a nationwide rollout in December, aiming to have MMS terminals installed in 6,800 Lawson stores by the following February. There were even plans to extend the service beyond Lawson stores in the future. The article suggests that Nintendo Power might be the start of a new era where rewriting games becomes the norm, rather than buying new cartridges. Nintendo's Nintendo Power service, offered at Lawson convenience stores, allows users to rewrite game cartridges. Users benefit from cheaper games and 24/7 access. Manufacturers can profit from older titles, and retailers reduce inventory risks. The service, initially for Super Famicom (SFC), with potential Game Boy support, will expand to Nintendo Entertainment Shops and other stores based on demand. Nintendo plans time attack events using the terminals. Older titles, focusing on popular games with around 100 titles monthly, cost 1,000 yen to rewrite. Newer titles will cost 2,000 yen to 4,000 yen, with 1 or 2 new SFC titles released monthly. Available games include Fire Emblem series and Super Mini 4WD, among others. The service utilizes a 7-step process involving Lawson's MMS terminal. The SF Memorica cassette allows Super Famicom users to rewrite and store up to 7 games. Upon power-up, users select games from a title list, with remaining memory indicated in blocks. Currently, 39 Super Famicom games are available for the service, including popular titles such as F-Zero, Super Mario World, and Earthbound, along with games from Konami and Hudson. Opinions on the service are mixed. Supporters believe it can revitalize the SFC market, benefit students and those near convenience stores, and reduce store inventory needs. Critics worry about its effectiveness compared to the potential of the N64, the ability of convenience store staff to provide proper customer service, and the clarity of available game information. Customers rewriting games at the store will receive a free Nintendo Power official How to Play book with game instructions, strategy tips, and details about the service. This page features 2 main topics. The first announcing that Pokemon has surpassed Super Mario in domestic sales in Japan, reaching 6.22 million copies and becoming the #1 selling game. Screenshots from Pokemon are shown. The page also presents game rankings titled The Game Ranking for N64, Super Famicom, and Game Boy software covering the period from September 1st to 30th. The top 3 games in the combined N64, SFC, and GB ranking are Pokemon Red version, Pokemon Green version, and Blast Bomberman 64. A separate N64 popularity ranking top 5 is also listed with The Legend of Zelda, tentative title, Yossi Story, and Pikachu Genki Daichu, tentative title, in the top 3. In another section, the page discusses Imagineer's educational software for Game Boy, asking, GB education software is BOOM! It highlights Imagineer's Gukaku Boy series, designed for high school and university entrance exam preparation, and includes an interview with Mr. Imura from Imagineer about the educational software market. Finally, there's a section titled Internet Game Information Check, with overseas news snippets. These include information about Macross supporting 4-player gameplay, software price reductions in the US, a title change for Ranbulgini 64, and claims that Mario 64 is even more exciting than a Hollywood movie. The next page features an interview with President Janai of Compile, titled Event Lover. Listen to President Janai. Compile's bright future with N64. He discusses Compile's involvement with the N64, particularly with Puyo Puyo Sun64, mentioning it's enjoyable for a wide age range, from children to the elderly. He also touches on their Disk Station series, a CD-ROM magazine for PC, and how they experiment with game ideas there, hinting at future possibilities for N64. There's also a news section announcing that Pokemon has won the Asahi Digital Entertainment Grand Prize in the Home Entertainment category, surpassing rivals like Final Fantasy V-2 and being praised for its widespread appeal. The page also spotlights Genki in a 64 Who's Who section. Genki is known for making polygon-based games and on N64 developed titles like Chisoko, Naita Puro Yaku King, Hyperspeed Grand Prix, Professional Baseball King, Multi-Racing Championship, and Belt Logger 9. Belt Logger 9 is highlighted with a screenshot, showcasing its action gameplay, and described as a must-see. Finally, a game industry rumor verification section talks about rumors surrounding Enix's new Game Boy title, possibly being related to Dragon Quest. It mentions that Enix is planning to release software on the most successful platforms, and the rumor suggests the new GB title might incorporate elements or be a remake of Dragon Quest II. This page highlights several announcements. A Metaro Game Boy campaign offers a chance to win a special Game Boy. Rockman, Mega Man fans can look forward to a 10th anniversary exhibition in Tokyo. A TV commercial for 64 Grand Sumo is also mentioned. Aspiring game creators can attend a seminar held by Tokyo Amusement Media College. New Game Boy accessories include GB Pocket hard cases and pouches. The Media Box section showcases various music releases, including soundtracks for Bomberman 64 and anime titles. Finally, the N64 information section covers news about Kotobuki President Yokoi Gunpei, a Derby Stallion 96 data update, and a price reduction for Wild Choppers. This page is dedicated to special tips and tricks, known as Urawaza, for the N64 game GQ World Soccer 3, which was released internationally as International Superstar Soccer 64. It highlights 2 main features: unlocking all-star teams and activating Big Head mode. The page explains how to unlock 6 all-star teams in the game by entering a specific button combination on the title screen and pressing Z and Start simultaneously. The button sequence is provided using controller icons. These teams are Eurostar A, Eurostar B, Asia Star, Africa Star, Old America Star, and World Star. The page also describes the Big Head mode, where players' and referees' heads become disproportionately large during gameplay. This mode is activated by entering a different button combination on the title screen using the C button unit, also followed by pressing Z and Start together. The button sequence is again shown with controller icons. Screenshots on the page illustrate gameplay with normal-sized heads and gameplay with the Big Head mode activated. The text expresses amusement and slight unease about the Big Head mode visuals. This magazine page details cheat codes for several retro games. For N64's Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, a button combination at photo spots reveals hidden houses. Game Boy's The King of Fighters 96 allows for same character battles and unlocks a special teammate battle with specific team compositions. Namco Gallery Volume 3 provides passwords for Tower of Babel and Kyokyoku Tiger to access extra features. Konami GB Collection Volume 1 includes the Konami code for Gradius and a sound test code for Contra. The article ends with a call for reader submissions of cheat codes, offering prizes for the best entries. This page is a manga strip titled Michiru's Game Heaven, which humorously depicts a day in the life of someone working in a game magazine editorial department. It shows the chaotic and demanding nature of the job, with tight deadlines and long hours. The story follows the process of handling manga manuscripts, specifically mentioning N64 Genko, which refers to manuscripts related to Nintendo 64 games. The characters depicted are experiencing the pressures of game checking and meeting deadlines, leading to sleep deprivation and a craving for food after a long day. The manga highlights the typical struggles of the game editing industry. This page continues the manga strip from before, showing the daily life in the game magazine editorial department. It depicts various stages of the magazine production process. The strip starts with a scene of having udon noodles, but the soup is apparently terrible. The staff are then shown working, with one person being told to stop using the internet. Someone else is waiting for Suko-san to return, only to find out they just left. The next scene shows panic, with someone saying, "It's bad," and mentioning a deadline, and the sound of keyboard typing is present. The team is trying to finish the manuscript, and they realize it will be late. There's a section showing the arrival of the manuscript, and it's given to the printing company. Then, the process moves to color proofing stage. There are mistakes, requiring red pen corrections. The manga shows checking for errors and mentions Pikachu, with someone joking that Pikachu became Pikitio. Next is the final proofreading stage, emphasizing checking the text and layout. It's mentioned that if everything is okayed by the editor-in-chief, the magazine should be ready in about 10 days. The strip then highlights a mistake where a Diddy Kong Racing article mistakenly used Mario Kart images. Everyone is shocked by this error. Finally, the magazine is completed, and the staff are relieved, saying, "It's done!" Someone is shown reading the finished magazine and noticing the Pikachu error again, humorously ending with, "Pikachu again." This page showcases reader-submitted gaming illustrations. Art from various prefectures in Japan depicts characters from popular games. Featured games include Final Fantasy V-2, Fire Emblem, Wonder Project J2, The Legend of Holy Sword 3, Millie Star Ocean, Wandker, Hero Mitayon, UFO Robo Grendizer, Seiken Densetsu 3, and Masu Kishin, alongside art of characters like a pudgy strong character and Dragon Quest II. Submissions are accompanied by commentary from the artists, sharing their opinions on the characters, games, and artistic styles. A red box advertises a color illustration festival and carnival, with submission guidelines for postcard-sized artwork, requesting submissions to the Dengeki N64 editorial department. This page presents a collection of reader-submitted color illustrations and manga panels. The artwork showcases a variety of subjects, including fan art of Donkey Kong, Fire Emblem, Evangelion, Sephiroth, and Front Mission Gun Hazard. Original characters like Shingo, Ellen, and Mr. Snow are also featured. The illustrations vary in style and tone, from cute and Christmas-themed to intense and violent. Below, manga panels depict diverse scenarios. These include an angel discussing a master candidate, a ship destruction scene, a humorous Fox-related panel, a milk thief situation, and a crying man experiencing gaming frustrations. The manga panels offer a blend of action, humor, and relatable gamer experiences. Amadeo-kun's present corner is giving away numerous prizes. The grand prize is a Nintendo 64 console, 3 units. Game prizes include Puyo Puyo Sun 64, 3 copies, J-League 11 Beat 1997, 3 copies, and Game Boy Gallery 2, 3 copies. Non-game prizes feature Verdi Kawasaki uniforms, 3 sets, Volcano t-shirts, 3, and AshiPad 64 controllers, 3. Also offered are Time Leap Teleka, 3, Yuko Taniyama, Teleka 5, and Designated Book Card, 10. AGB Pocket, 3, is included. To enter, readers must complete a questionnaire on a postcard, specify their desired prize, and send it with a 50 yen stamp before November 5th. Winners will be announced in January. The accompanying manga illustrates the entry process and excitement. This page is a new release date list for Nintendo 64 games. The table includes release dates, game titles, genres, prices, manufacturers, and formats, with red text indicating new titles and blue text showing titles with changed release dates. Some of the games listed with release dates include J-League 11 Beat 1997, Puyo Puyo Sun 64, Pro Mahjong Kiwami 64, Diddy Kong Racing, Wild Choppers, Famista 64, and more. Genres range from sports, SPG, to puzzle, PZG, etc., racing, RCG, and action, ACT. Manufacturers include Hudson, Compile, Athena, Nintendo, SET, Namco, Culture Brain, and Bottom Up. The format column specifies cartridge features like battery backup, B, controller pack support, C, and rumble pack support, P. There are also smaller tables for Super Famicom and Game Boy games listed below, providing similar information. The next page highlights several Dengeki magazines. It mentions Dengeki Nintendo 64 as the ultimate game magazine focused on machine showdowns, releasing on the 21st of each month. Dengeki PlayStation is advertised as a bi-weekly Friday release, described as an all-round game data magazine. Dengeki O, coming out on the 8th of each month, is called the Fast, Hot, and Strongest Saturn magazine. Dengeki Sega Saturn, also a bi-weekly Friday release, is described as full of beautiful girls and characters, and a full animation game magazine. Finally, Dengeki G's magazine, released on the 30th of each month. The page also includes Chizuru's Dengeki Report, which discusses a demo CD-ROM for Dengeki PlayStation D4 Volume .58, featuring content related to Parasite Eve movie clips and Power Pro special ability player data. This page features a brightly lit image of a smiling young woman striking a pose with a flexed arm. She's accompanied by text that reads, "Rather than enduring, do it, do it, do it," and "Because Chizuru is cheering for you." In the top right corner, the Dengeki logo appears, reinforcing this as likely an advertisement for Dengeki game magazines. It seems to be a motivational message from Chizuru to encourage readers towards Dengeki publications. This page is an advertisement for the Nintendo 64 game Top Gear Rally. The advert highlights the super sensation of the game, promoting a Battle Rally MG experience. It features images of women and text in Japanese, including words related to jumping and tilting, alongside the game logo and a release date of December 5th. This page is another advert for the Nintendo 64 game Top Gear Rally, announcing a super exciting promotion to celebrate its release. By pre-ordering the game, 200 lucky people can win a Nintendo 64 controller-shaped air sofa. The advert shows a cartoon image of children sitting on the inflatable sofa and outlines 4 steps on how to enter the competition, involving getting a reservation card from the store, getting a store stamp, purchasing the game when it's released, and sending in the stamped card. It also features screenshots from the game showing in-game racing action and a pre-order reservation card to fill out. This page is an advertisement for a special Nintendo 64 promotion in Japan. It's celebrating the upcoming release of Pokémon on the Nintendo 64 in 1998 and offering players a chance to win a Surfing Pikachu data download for the Game Boy Pokémon games, Pocket Monsters. 10,000 people will be selected by lottery to win this prize. The advert details how to enter, requiring players to buy a Nintendo 64 console and use the manual's barcode as part of the entry process, sending it to the provided address along with personal details. The promotion period is from September 21st to October 31st, 1997. The advert also shows screenshots from the upcoming N64 Pikachu game, Pikachu Genki Daichu. Hey you, Pikachu!